Welcome to the exciting rebirth of Superstar, featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. At Superstar, you get expanded, exclusive videoscopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. Hello, fabulous superstar Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of April 2021. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month without a doubt. Now, it is going to be on the 11th of the month that we will have this month's new moon. And this new moon takes place in a particularly consequential part of the sky for you. It has to do with profound and meaningful change, profound and meaningful truth that lends itself to transformation and regeneration, being deeply honest with yourself. Now, on a more mundane level, this part of the sky connects you to financial institutions as well. So here's the thing, this new moon is very active in the sky at this time, which means that it isn't just about what's happening in one area of life, but the way in which other big power players across the sky are connecting to this new moon tells me that what occurs has a sweeping effect in some way. Now, keep in mind for you as well, Mercury, your ruling planet, is very active under this sky and over the course of the week of this new moon, which again tells me that you're very engaged in life and in wanting the best to come forward at this time. So here's what's going on with the new moon. It is happening close in the sky to Venus, not far from Mercury as well. Again, there's your ruling planet. So it isn't just about what's happening in this area of life, but it becomes that much more meaningful to you, that much more personal to you. This new moon will be connecting in harmony with Mars on one side, and Mars right now is moving through, and at this new moon, is moving through the very top of your sky, having to do with legacy and destiny, career, social standing, life purpose. And on the other side, it is connecting with Jupiter. Jupiter right now is moving through a part of the sky for you that has to do with your daily life. It has to do with your understanding of your day in and day out business that ultimately lends itself to how well you feel and what you're doing, what's creating mastery in your life, including your work as well, including your health-related habits as well. So your life is matching up with these profound changes happening now. And then we've got Pluto. Pluto is speaking in a conversation of tension with this new moon. And Pluto is slowly but surely continuing to move through a part of the sky for you that has to do with what the heart truly wants. And so there's this motivation there, this determination to align what it is that you truly desire with this change that is happening for you. And boy, are you powerful at this time. You're able to dig very deep within you and find some reserve that you can feel good about, that you can channel to your advantage. You may be facing some difficult truths in your own life, but they're benefiting you in some way. You're determined to transform your circumstances. And that means transform your work-related circumstances, your career-related circumstances, but also to transform the self. To experience an improved set of circumstances sometimes requires a sense of understanding what stays and what goes, and that's what you're doing at this new moon. As I said, financial institutions are highlighted here as well. It may be that you are seeking funding or need to pay attention to a financial matter. Now, the thing to remember is when we have such strong financial energy, it means that the money you need is there. You might have to do a little bit more to show up for it, because ultimately it is the lessons you learn that really is the point. And so, yes, there may be more to do. It may feel as if there's more that you need to show up for. Maybe you have to connect with financial institutions, and yet you will not only do what is in front of you to do, but you will truly thrive at this time. Now, as we navigate later into the month, on the 26th is when we will have this month's full moon. And Boy, is it a powerful time. There is so much intensity, so much power as we get to the end of the month. So on the one hand, we've got this full moon happening in a communicative, perceptive part of your sky. Now this part of the sky has to do with news that you are receiving, what you are talking about, how you are communicating. Contracts, negotiations are covered here. But what's also covered here is siblings, cousins, and neighbors. So this full moon is standing across the sky from Uranus. There are going to be surprises a minute, I tell you. A lot is happening. And a lot seems like it comes out of nowhere. It could be news related to one of these people. There could be a very dramatic exit, for example, of a neighbor deciding to leave very suddenly. But then we've got this cluster happening in a very worldly part of your sky, across the sky from this full moon, of Venus and Lilith and Mercury. Again, there's your ruling planet, intimately involved in lunar events now. The following day, Pluto is going to go retrograde. So Pluto is very high in its power at this time, standing still in the sky, preparing to go retrograde. And all of this does suggest that things are changing. Yes. You're having to come to a new understanding, a new perception. And in the midst of it, you're having to consider what you really want in your heart of hearts. Where is your heart leading you to? Now, surprising news, as I said, siblings, cousins, neighbors may happen, but it can also be you that's receiving messages that you have to react to or respond to very quickly. Now, regardless of what happens, remember, the key is, and the power is, perspective. Philosophical perspective, spiritual perspective, worldly perspective. That's where Lilith and Venus and Mercury are connecting in the sky. If you can keep that perspective, then whatever information or communication shows up, you'll address it, you'll flow through it, you'll thrive, and you really will. Things can change very quickly based on new information you receive now, but these could be changes that you like very much if you keep that perspective and keep a more philosophical understanding in mind. That ultimately is going to allow you to make the most of this time and make sure that any information is used to your advantage. Now, where it comes to matters of love, it is going to be the first half of the month, right until the 14th, that Venus will continue to move through this part of the sky that has to do with moving beyond the superficial. And in fact, Venus is going to be close to the new moon happening on the 11th. And so that tells me that love is intimately involved in the truth that you are finding now. Once we get past the 14th, Venus will move into fellow Earth sign Taurus. This is going to work very well to your advantage. As I said, by the time we get to the full moon, Venus is exactly conjunct Lilith. And that tells me that love and lust powers are very high. And for you in particular, because Venus is in fellow Earth sign, you're very much in your element. You're feeling in your power. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, I do feel like the days around the new moon in particular, you may find yourself very drawn to somebody. And it's almost as if this person is able to reach right into you in some way. And a feeling of fate, a pull of fate may be there. Now, it's always up to you to decide what's right for you to do in light of your unique circumstances. But know that energy is very strong around the new moon. Once we navigate forward, and particularly at the full moon, you are coming to a fresh understanding and fresh insights. And in some way, love rises. You become more philosophical around matters of love. Now, for those of you just starting to date somebody, I do feel like the new moon energy does suggest that you're seeing some truth about this person. One thing I can say to you is that person that you are on a first or second or third or fourth date with, that person is not your therapist. It's a good idea to be mindful of that because the tendency is going to be there to want to share so much, whether it's you sharing or them. Now, of course, you always want to do what's right for you in light of your unique circumstances, but I just want you to be mindful that it may leave you with mixed feelings. It may leave you feeling as if there's some sort of power imbalance there. Now, regardless of what happens, by the time we get to the full moon, though, You really are seeing things differently, perhaps very quickly, but seeing things differently and deciding whether or not this is someone to navigate forward with. And for those of you in an established bond, some of the energy of the new moon around the 11th may play out in terms of your partner's income. So just keep that in mind, whether there are some questions or some stress. The thing is that you've got such supportive energy happening simultaneously that it tells me your partner will be just fine in matters of finances. That new moon can also be used to magnify a vulnerability and a more deep connection with this person that you love, deepening the commitment to this person that you love. As we navigate to the end of the month, and especially in the days surrounding that full moon, it does look like the two of you are considering making plans, in some cases really big plans. One thing I do want to mention is if it is that you know that you are not in the right relationship for you, some of those tendencies, some of those reasons might rise, perhaps in a very profound and obvious way at the new moon, perhaps in a sudden way at the full moon. But ultimately, this gives you a real opportunity to look at where you are with your partner and what it is that you'd like to do and how it is that you may want to or not want to navigate forward from here. What I love about this month for you, well, look, there's a lot here. It's a powerful time. I do think the fact that Pluto is going retrograde, well, look, matters of heart are going to be very much on the surface as we get to the end of the month with Pluto turning backwards in the sky. And this is going to invite you to be honest, deeply honest, even when it's hard, about how you really feel. Person, place, thing, situation. Is your heart in it or not? And the thing is, with Pluto retrograde, your answers are undeniable. And once you find them, you've got to make a choice. You've got to make a decision. And thankfully, whatever you choose will bring you a greater sense of peace now. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. At NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, you get expanded exclusive videoscopes each and every week for each and every sign. Plus, higher tiers get you special horoscopes, get you class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I hope that you'll check it out, and I look forward to meeting you there. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.